Picture this, you're sitting across from someone engaging in conversation, but suddenly you're wondering what they are truly thinking. Can you ever know what thoughts are swimming behind their calm demeanor, or what emotions flicker in their eyes? In a world where communication is often reduced to words, it can be easy to forget the complex and profound language that exists in the subtle movements of our bodies, the flicker of our eyes, and the gestures of our hands. But imagine if you had the power to unlock that hidden language, allowing you to truly understand what others are feeling and thinking. This ancient art of understanding the mind through body language and gestures has been studied for millennia, especially in spiritual traditions like Buddhism. The ability to discern thoughts and emotions through non-verbal cues is not just a modern skill, but has its roots deep in history. One such story comes from the teachings of the Buddha himself, a tale that reveals the profound connection between our inner states and the movements we express outwardly. The Tale of the Blind Brother, a lesson in mind reading. In a small, serene village, two brothers lived together many years ago. The older brother was blind, spending most of his time within the confines of their home, while the younger brother labored as a farmer. The farm, however, faced a significant problem. Wild animals frequently destroyed the crops. Troubled by this, the younger brother devised a plan. He thought, "Why not ask my blind brother to help? He can sit in the field and scare away the animals by shouting when he hears them." And so the elder brother agreed. The younger brother built a small hut in the field and explained, "Brother, if you hear the sounds of animals, shout and drive them away. In this way, we can protect our crops." The blind brother began his duty, shouting whenever he heard the rustle of animals, successfully scaring them away. One day, a deer broke through the fence and ran across the field. Soon after, a king on a hunt arrived, following the tracks of the deer. Seeing the blind brother, the king asked, "Have you seen a deer pass through here?" The blind brother, calm and composed, responded, "Your Majesty, I am blind and cannot see the deer, but I can tell you this. The animal you are chasing is not worth your time." The king, baffled by this response, inquired further, "How can you, a blind man, know if the animal is worth chasing or not?" With wisdom beyond sight, the blind brother explained, "Your Majesty, the animal you pursue is a pregnant doe. In all your wisdom and honor, I know that a king such as yourself would not hunt a pregnant animal." Astounded, the king questioned, "How can you, without sight, know this?" Determined to verify the blind brother's claim, the king sent his commander to capture the doe alive. Upon returning, the commander confirmed the doe's pregnancy, leaving the king even more perplexed. "How did you know?" the king demanded. "What is the source of your knowledge?" The blind brother, undeterred, responded with clarity, "The mind speaks through the body, Your Majesty. Though I am blind, I have learned to read the signs that others overlook. The sounds, the movements, the behavior of animals and people, these are the things I observe." This profound insight captures the essence of reading people's minds. It's not about mystical powers, but about the keen observation of the world around us. The language of the body can reveal far more than words ever could. The power of nonverbal cues, a Buddhist perspective. The mind and body are intricately connected. In Buddhism, this connection is central to understanding ourselves and others. Our thoughts, emotions, and intentions manifest in our physical movements, and those who are attuned to these subtle signs can discern what lies beneath the surface. The story of the blind brother continues as the king, impressed by his wisdom, sought more answers. Testing the blind brother further, the king posed a deeply personal question. "Is my wife faithful to me?" This question, loaded with emotion and suspicion, was met with hesitation by the blind brother. "Your Majesty," he replied, "such a question is difficult to answer. Why does this doubt trouble your heart?" The king, insistent on receiving an answer, threatened the blind brother with punishment if he refused to respond. Faced with no choice, the blind brother devised a plan. "Leave your wife alone with me," he instructed, "and I will reveal the truth. Reluctantly, the king agreed. Left alone with the queen, the blind brother requested to touch her hand, a seemingly innocent request that led to the queen's fury. In her rage, she began to beat the blind brother violently. Later, when the king returned, the blind brother revealed the truth. "Your Majesty, your wife is unfaithful," he stated plainly. "How could you possibly know this?" the king asked, bewildered. The blind brother explained, "When I asked her to touch me, she could have simply refused. Instead, she responded with violence, exposing her inner guilt through her actions. Her fury revealed the truth that words could not." This moment illustrates a key principle in understanding others. Actions often speak louder than words. The body has its own language, one that is difficult to conceal or manipulate. 3 techniques for reading the mind. Drawing from this ancient wisdom, the blind brother imparted 3 crucial techniques to the king, techniques that we can apply even today to better understand the thoughts and emotions of those around us. 1. Focus on the eyes. The first technique involves paying close attention to the eyes. The eyes, often referred to as the windows to the soul, reveal a great deal about what a person is thinking. When you speak to someone, observe their gaze, the blind brother advised. Are they looking directly at you, or are their eyes darting around seeking escape? A wandering gaze may indicate discomfort, dishonesty, or distraction. The eyes can also reveal emotions that words might conceal. For example, pupils dilate when someone is excited or interested, while they constrict when a person feels threatened or uneasy. Observing these subtle changes can provide insight into the emotions a person may be hiding. Similarly, the movement of the eyebrows can be telling. Raised eyebrows might indicate surprise or curiosity, while furrowed brows may suggest confusion or worry. Even the tension in the muscles around the eyes can provide clues about a person's emotional state. 2. Pay attention to facial expressions. The face is a canvas that reflects our inner world. By observing facial expressions, we can gain a deeper understanding of what someone is truly feeling. A genuine smile, for instance, engages not just the mouth but the eyes as well. When the eyes crinkle and the cheeks lift, you can be sure that the smile is sincere. Conversely, a forced smile that doesn't reach the eyes may indicate discomfort or insincerity. Similarly, a furrowed brow or a clenched jaw can reveal tension or frustration, even if the person's words don't express it. The blind brother shared a story of how he once helped a person who appeared indifferent on the outside but had a deep line of worry etched across their forehead. By observing this subtle sign, he was able to offer help and alleviate the person's suffering. The face, he explained, is like a picture that shows the emotions inside, even if the person doesn't say a word. 3. Understand gestures and body language. The third technique is to observe gestures and body language. Our hands, posture, and movements often convey more than we realize. Crossed arms, for example, might signal defensiveness or discomfort, while open gestures and relaxed posture suggest openness and confidence. When someone taps their fingers quickly or fidgets, the blind brother noted, it may indicate impatience or anxiety. A person who leans forward during a conversation is likely engaged and interested, while someone who leans back may be disengaged or disinterested. Body language can also reveal hidden emotions. A person who frequently touches their face during a conversation may be nervous or deep in thought. These small, unconscious movements provide a window into a person's mind, revealing thoughts and feelings that might otherwise remain hidden. The path to mindfulness. Understanding the present moment. Before the blind brother shared these techniques with the king, he emphasized one critical step: mindfulness. "Your Majesty," he said, "before you can truly understand others, you must first learn to focus your mind. Bring your attention to the present moment, for only when your mind is calm and centered can you perceive the thoughts and emotions of others." This teaching echoes the core principles of Buddhist mindfulness. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness involves bringing one's full attention to the present moment, observing thoughts and sensations without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more attuned to the subtle cues in our surroundings, allowing us to better understand the people we interact with. The blind brother's advice to the king is a reminder that reading the minds of others is not about developing some mystical power, but about honing our awareness. By learning to focus our attention and observe the world around us with clarity, we can gain insight into the thoughts and emotions of others. In the end, the ability to read minds is not a supernatural gift, but a skill that anyone can develop. By paying attention to the eyes, facial expressions, and body language, we can learn to understand the unspoken thoughts and emotions of those around us. But to do so, we must first cultivate mindfulness, bringing our awareness into the present moment and sharpening our powers of observation. As the blind brother demonstrated, true understanding comes not from sight, but from insight, by observing the world carefully. And with compassion, we can unlock the hidden language of the mind, fostering deeper connections and greater empathy with those around us. In doing so, we not only enhance our relationships, but also deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world. Just as the blind brother guided the king toward greater awareness, we too can embark on a journey of mindfulness and observation, learning to read the minds of others through the subtle language of the body. Through this practice, we can cultivate wisdom, compassion, and understanding, values at the heart of Buddhist teachings and at the core of our shared humanity.